just
Old and mighty.
I'll just get the because Hasbro also needs a name for the.
His name is.
Oh, right. Or you can just decide. I don't know.
What is it? What are those weird Finnish names that even Tolkien used? There's a lot of those.
Yeah,
he
named his magic flying ship after the Finnish word for boat, I think.
That's true.
Well, never mind.
What?
The Tolkien named magical flying boat after the Finnish word for boat.
Laiva.
Yeah.
Really? When in doubt, use Finnish. Nobody ever knows what how to fucking pronounce it anyway.
For some reason, my mind goes to Vaino.
Sure.
Yeah.
Vaino or Väinö?
Vaino, because no, let's not.
Väinö, missä on se Väinö?
Actually, Vaino is better because of multiple meanings. Yes.
Vaino.
Vaino.
Hunt.
Yes. Also that.
Yes.
Finnish is a weird language, by the way. For anyone who doesn't speak it, it's a very weird language. Well, that's neither. That's the other. So, you are at the edge of fall-leaf treetops. You have your winter clothes and mounts available and checked out, and you leave your carriage there as collateral.
Question: how long would it take for us to get to the?
If no issues with the weather arises, 2 days.
Okay, that's not too bad. Oh,
but winter is coming, so
yeah,
there might be.
Before we leave, I wanted to check how much would be a hunting bow.
50 gold.
What?
50 gold.
50 gold.
Yeah.
That's too much for me. Never mind then.
No hunting bows. Onwards.
Yeah.
We're not that rich.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, this special strike team doing this research operation that has the most powerful organization in the known universe behind it doesn't have enough money to buy a single hunting bow. Yes. It's a promising start.
At the same time, I have some sort of ancient blood magic imbued handguns in my pockets. But
the implication that it is the starting price.
Although,
50 gold.
Although, if I don't use it for actual combat paddle, but for actual hunting, would it be because it doesn't have to be I don't know.
Well, you could go ask around. Borrow someone's bow.
Do I need to have a bow?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, you can always either try for credit with the church. You can try and haggle with, because there is a weaponsmith merchant person in the village, and a family business rather, and you can always try and haggle.
I have a light crossbow.
That's good.
You can have it because I don't need it. I got a better option.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes. I'm borrowing it with an interest. And the interest is surprise me.
The interest is keeping you all played.
Yeah, works.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, you do have rations and things, but dry food can only get useful for.
Yeah, Rhaega tends to hunt for more fresh ingredients because they need to eat a fuck ton of food to keep themselves fit.
I'll also give the 20 crossbow bolts that I have. I'll remove this.
So it's a light crossbow?
Light crossbow, yes.
Okay.
So, you get your crossbow from Jay, and while you're at the edge of the village making the final preparations, you can hear the creaking of trees and very heavy footfalls coming from the forest to your general direction. And you see the woods at the edge of the fallen treetops are very thick, but you can see definite animal paths for like elks and smaller creatures, and for bigger creatures like blitzeras. And one of those paths are being used at the moment because from the woods walks out a blitzera of like, it isn't that big, but blitzera it is like 170 tall from legs to back. And on the back of the blitzer you can see a leonin. Ray, if you will do the description. Honors of the description.
So what do you see is a 7.5 feet tall, blue-eyed, white-furred and white-maned leonin. He wears a dark blue breeches, has no shirt, and wears one golden pauldron on his left shoulder, while a dark green cape drapes from the pauldron to the right shoulder and falls on his back. He wields a massive maul, colored in the same pattern, and right now looks at Almond very intently.
Right, I'm gonna look back at him and I'm gonna go, oh, dude! Really, you need to learn to wear a shirt. It's cold up here. You'll piss Mom off.
What?
I drop from the mount. I walk intently toward Almond. I grab him. I missed you, brother. And I lick his face and start to purr.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm just gonna give him a hug. Just to give you a more accurate description of things, this guy is about 7 feet tall. Almond is, maybe, I don't know, a lot less tall than that. I'd say I can barely reach his chest, and so I'm just gonna hug him back, and he'll kind of awkwardly go, yeah, I missed you too. Okay. Moving on. How's life?
Who are they? And I point toward the two individuals that I do not recognize.
3. There's the dwarven priest too.
3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're friends. We're kind of on a job together with them. Guys, do you want to maybe introduce yourselves? This is my brother. My little brother, I say, looking up.
Yeah, I get the feeling.
Friends of my big brother are my friends as well. And I walk expectantly toward, let's see, Yatsu's character,
yes,
which I do not know the name yet. And I just look at you intently, and I start to flare my nostrils to, smell and take your smelling.
I don't know if it's if it was your intent, but on Jay's face, now that you come closer, you see a really kind of a dirty beard. He's usually really hidden himself in his cloak, hiding whatever he has under his cloak, and his hair is almost well done on a bun, as is mine. But it looks like that it's been tied 2 days ago, so it's a real mess. And you don't get I don't know if your character has the presumption that people are scared of him or really jumpy or something, but for Jay, it's just another guy who's come to meet them, and to see the situation that you guys are brothers, it doesn't bother him, and he'll offer his hand like, "Hey, I'm Jay."
And as you give me your hand. Instead of shaking it, I lower my head and I pet your hand with my head. Just, as a cat would do, basically.
Yes, and you'll get this weird interaction of. Okay.
What?
Cats.
Then I look back at my brother and I go, this is how you do social interactions.
Yeah. Like, I'm actually gonna give him a thumbs up and go, good job, man. You're doing exactly what you need to do.
Good. Then I go to the more imposing figure.
Who is actually
And
probably a little bit taller than you.
yeah.
Funny enough.
And I come closer to the imposing figure and I curiously look and go, and what is your name, big one?
My name is Rhaega. It is a pleasure to meet you. I have not seen leonins in quite a while.
Super rare in these parts. Like most leonin settlements are in the west, so
Warmer climates.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Well,
Rhaega will
east. Sorry.
yeah. Rhaega will just like give out a hand, like not in a handshake, but like the kind of
And due the strange position of the hand, I try very awkwardly to do the same as I did with the
to get a
A.
scratch.
No, to
Yes, I try
like
to do the same with my head.
boob it.
Oh, yeah, headbutt. Okay,
Headbutt.
yeah.
Yeah, like cats
Oh.
do.
Yes.
Rhaega just kind of a little bit.
And I step back. And then I go to the smaller figure. I believe you have a dwarf with you.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
right?
she's a grey robed priestess of Omnold and like dwarven, early mid, like early 40s ish, and she's like dumbstruck with like first there was one big creature and then there's another one and she's like, I mean she's just like brothers, so okay.
And I come close to the dwarven figure, and I just lower myself down, and I go, and you are...
So, my name is Hasgruda. Nice to meet you.
What it is your name?
Hasgruda.
Difficult. You are husk.
That's why I use Jay.
And after patting her head with my paw, I go back to my brother and I go, so, what's next? I tracked your scent all this time.
Yeah, I have to say that's pretty impressive. But hey, we've played hide and seek before, so I guess it's no surprise. Anyway, yeah, we're
You
going...
lose all the time.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, you were always given that particular talent in the family. You're excellent at finding stuff. I'm the guy who talks to things after you find them for me, so... Which makes you very useful, because we need to find some things so I can talk to them. So I think we're going to need to start heading north so we can do that.
Do you have a scent to follow?
I don't think so. Sorry, priestess, do we have a scent to follow?
Not at the moment, but we just we take the northern road to Sarngard in a couple of days and we'll be there. And then we'll try and find the insurgents or whatever.
Rhaega turns to the leonin and goes, excuse me, I don't think I caught your name. What shall I call you?
Raja
Raja.
is my name.
A good name.
And this, and I point to the giant creature that I come riding. This is Ashoka,
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to Ashoka and I'm gonna say, Ashoka, meet Gertrude, and introduce my reindeer?
Elk.
No, elk.
Yeah.
We have elk. Yes.
So like Blitzeros are like the very very general shape of a rhino type creature, but because this is a male Blitzeros, it has like a very thick fur, like we're talking like 4 inches thick fur plus the skin, and it has 3 horns, so it's like where normal rhinos have the normal horns, it has a ridge with 3 horns and a 4th one just like starting to grow. So it is an adult all right.
What was it?
Ashoka.
Ashoka.
And Gertrude is a little bit wary of the Blitzer, but the Blitzer is like, huh. And
I roll a 9 to try to calm Gertrude down. I don't think 9 is very good though.
yeah, so Gertrude is the only reason why she doesn't bolt immediately is because you're holding the reins, but she feels, because Blitzers are notoriously omnivorous, and well, the creature has eaten, so it's not an immediate danger, and it seems to be quote unquote tamed as far as they can be.
Would I know if they're herbivores?
Like I said, omnivorous. They eat.
Omnivores, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So prefer like non-running food, because Blitzers also have a problem that if they start running, they might have a difficulty to stop. So they prefer food that doesn't run.
Oh, right, yeah. So basically, our elk would not be on the menu because they tend to move around.
Yeah, and elks are faster.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. You get your...
around confused.
You can see like the big forest where you were just like walking around and find the Blitzeros, and then there's the small village of like grown wooden buildings where you passed through a couple of days back when you came here, and then you can see this big northern road, like the main road north to south on this side of the crater. It is like two carriages wide and very very trampled, very very flat. And like to the right hand of you, when you look north, on the right side of you, some distance away, you can see the big mountains which surround the crater in the middle of the island. And on your left side, you see like left and back, you can see the pockmarked and uneven, terrain of the western province, and you can feel the winter winds and the general colder climate of the northern province. Like, you're still in the west, but it is like where you should be going. It will be cold.
Rhaega takes a deep breath of the cold air.
Jay's has moved up with Roach. Couple of 10-20 meters in a gesture of let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhaega follows.
Yeah.
So, riding the oak shrine is gonna be interesting because it's two massive egos clashing together.
Yep. The goat so far, Oxram has so far been because you get the feeling that he's been very been kept on a very short leash so far by the Beastmaster.
So he's like bored a bit. So he's like,
yeah, but and a bit like weirded out by suddenly like sky and space, because you remember that he had his own enclosure, and now there's like space and like no trees.
A magnificent beast like you shouldn't be kept inside.
And yeah, you get on your riding creatures, Raja gets on Ashoka and you got this sort of very a start of a bond with the creature because like it likes you. You get the feeling that the Blitzer likes you, and then you get on your riding creatures and start riding the main road up north.
Yep.
And because well, winter is coming, and most of the people in the western provinces leave their farmlands for the winters, for the bigger cities. Just like they board everything up and take everything they can carry and go to the bigger cities. Some come to the four-leaf treetops because it is, even though it's not a big city, it's still livable in the winters because like the leaves in the canopy in the forest is so thick that pretty much snow. Because like you remember when you went to the enclosure of the riding animals, pretty much no snow can come there because it's so thick. But now when you're outside, you can like feel the wind, and especially the two long-furred animals are very fun-looking when like the wind is howling around you and the thick furs are just like rattling around.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah.
They're just worth it.
Yep.
Can we agree that we all got some sort of winter gear?
Yeah,
while we
yeah,
were
Yes, we did.
in
Yes.
the town? Because if we don't have that, we're going to be in trouble.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, you got well. Who isn't? Who isn't?
We got those
Right.
before we left.
Yep.
Rhaega has no winter clothes on him.
He
You
has.
probably have a winter coat, though,
yes,
so...
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he has.
like
He has.
winter coat.
Yeah, he
I
has a
have my
winter
mantle.
coat and the mane and the bleed zero because when the cold get when it becomes too cold, you can just like hug the blitzer and just like get as slow as possible on its back because it is big enough, and the fur is like very thick. You can just like bury yourself in it.
Rhaega speaks up and says, and if you, for whatever reason, get super cold, I do have my owlbear coat, cloak
Yeah.
on me.
An extra one?
Oh, only one, but I rarely use it. I mostly use it when I'm sleeping. But it's warm.
Is there any chance that we could, like, are there any, like, hanging fruit or anything around since we're moving, like, on a path? Are there any trees where we could, like, grab anything? Is it too late for anything to still grow?
Pretty much.
Well, the small time when you're riding on the side of the crater's mountains, you can see patches of trees which have been affected by the local magics because the crater itself is filled with a magical thing called vapor, and it does like weird magical effects on nearby plant lives and animals, and you can see some like pine sort of trees with like very thick-skinned looking, basically avocado style fruits with this sort of spike like
Pine
protrusions.
fruit. That's cool. Did you actually?
Would I have any idea if they're safe to eat?
If you're trying to pick one, Jay would immediately stop you and tell you, no, don't.
I mean, you do have rations which you because rations are made of like dried meats and dried vegetables and dried pretty much
Nuts.
anything that's available. And because you got your rations from partly from the temple and partly from foliage treetops, you have mostly fruit and like red meats.
Rhaega probably has
Right,
like a dried hunk of meat on the back.
Probably, yeah.
But see, my main concern is, I know we have rations that we can eat, but I want to get Gertrude something. Especially since she had to go through the ordeal of meeting a Blixero
Yeah.
that she was not ready for. So I want to make her feel better and get her something nice.
Well, pine fruits might not be eatable for you, or maybe for you because you have a, well, you're you, but
Because of reasons, yeah.
yeah, because of raisins, but
Maybe if
well,
they're processed.
yeah, but probably the local, because it is a local wildlife, it's probably eaten pine fruit before, so you can certainly try.
Right, so, but I wouldn't have any prior knowledge of whether she's able to eat any of this stuff.
Do you ask anyone?
Well,
No, I kind of want to look around and see if I can recognize anything.
well, they can eat like, well, most of the, some trees are still like, some of the more stubborn leaves are still hanging around in the trees, but most have fallen. But then there are the ferns and other greens which do have like the, well, evergreen coat yet on them, and probably Gertrude can eat that. And well,
Else can eat anything.
well, like I said, she's probably eaten pine fruit before because it is local or on northern common-ish fruit.
Did you know that there are these massive pine cones, which inside of them they have like
Yep.
really big, like
Yep.
you basically nuts.
Yep.
You can eat those.
Yep.
It's cool.
So
Right, so I'm gonna try to forage something for Gertrude then.
yeah, roll for survival.
Sure thing. 14.
Yeah. So you see when you're riding up north, you can see this small thicket of evergreens, and you ride around it because the other ones are going on the straight road. You go around the forest and you pick like some pine fruits and some like fresher looking leaves and some of the more stubborn ferns and things for her, for a small leather pouch for her, and then you bind it from the horns to her, like so she can eat while walking.
Excellent.
And
That's
then you,
exactly what I wanted.
because you do have your daggers, you cut open a pine fruit, and it is it's very thick and like not the easiest to chew with human teeth, but like animal teeth are just like fine with them. It's very the flesh is very stringy, but seems like it's, you smell it and it seems like it's eatable enough.
I mean, Alex can eat some quite harsh shit.
Yep.
Terrifying creatures.
Yeah.
Oh, there's. Wait, elk and moose are the same thing, kinda.
Kind of.
Yes.
Okay. Are they both as big?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, hold up. Biology, but.
Yeah. So, like I said, because winter is coming, most of the locals have gathered their stuff to the bigger cities and fall leaf, and like you can see in the distance on your right side, like way away from the main roads, you can see small gatherings or small villages which are explicitly made for wintering purposes, and you can see many smaller farmlands which have been used for growing different plants, which are now basically like I said, boarded up and and emptied. And the further you get up north, because in the western province most of the nature is like the land itself is cracked, so nature is also very pockmarked and very like steppy. But the further you get up north, the more wholesome nature is, and the less of the scarring of the lands you can see. Like fields are just like even fields of the last growings of this autumn season, and patches of wood are not broken by the scar like paths of the west. like during the first day, it will grow like increasingly cold, and at the end of the day, you get to the pass, which is basically the official border post between the west and northern provinces. Because in the middle of the island, there's a crater, and in the north, like the range of the mountains comes out into this smaller section, which a part of the mountains have been raised in the past years, like hundreds of years back, and like just raised from the path of the main road, just to get from the west to the north. And then the mountain range goes down to the main road, and then like continues on both sides of the road. And when you get to the pass between the mountains, the cold winds just like catch you in a twister of coldness, and yeah, it's very, for those who either haven't been used to it or don't carry real winter clothes, it's very harsh, and usually it's very silent in this part of the world where no, like when people aren't around, it's very silent, except in the pass where just winds blow from every direction and it's impossible to hear people talk.
I'm just gonna look at Raja as we ride up, and I'm just gonna like turn to him and go like, you know, weather like this really makes me miss Reedhold.
When you say that, you can see that Raja is basically holding a ration with both paws, face inside the ration, eating, and then raises his head and goes, "What? Home? Yeah, I miss home too."
Yeah, it's cold, but I have to say, like you're really keeping you're keeping up the sort of body heat, I'm sure, because you're obviously exercising hard with that lump of food you have on there. So I'm just gonna give him give him like a good-natured pat on the back.
Yeah.
And I stuff my face again with food.
When you look at Raja, you can see the reason why he hasn't been, he should be like a very cold and very shaking with the coldness, but you can see that like if you wouldn't know better, you would think that the Blitzer itself is like emitting heat, like this sort of thin fog of warmth is just like going from the animal to all directions, like just that yeah, it is emitting heat.
Man, those things are really good to have when you're like setting up for the night. You just use them as a pillow.
Yeah, and well, you do know that when I said Blitzers eat anything, they literally eat anything. It's like people and animals and plants and magical creatures and demons and trolls and like whatever. And well, if they eat a fire elemental, they get weird properties, or if they eat a troll, they get weirder properties. Like it is said that they're the ultimate survival animal because they can survive anywhere because they can eat anything.
They're the cockroaches of the
cockroaches, which are 2 meters tall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cockroaches with the size of a giant rhino
Yep.
on steroids.
Yeah.
And also triple the horns of a giant rhino.
And like the horns are like every 10 years a new horn starts growing. So basically you can know the age of a Blitzer by the amount of horns. 10 years ish.
Okay.
Yeah. And you get past it will like the sun is pretty much down when you get past the pass to the north, and maybe it's just like the feeling that you know that you're in the northern province, but the air immediately feels colder. Like it immediately feels that you've gone to another climate.
Rhaega just takes a deep breath and back home, I guess.
Almost, yeah.
Almond. Well, the Almond one is mine.
Yeah.
Surely this is far south for you.
I'm sorry?
Isn't this far south for you?
Well, yes, but the more north we get, the closer we are. Arconhold is my home area. Caldereir is the village. So I consider it home, nevertheless.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, so you're basically, at the end of the day, the sun has almost left the horizon and the darkness has fallen across the lands.
Rhaega would like to start looking for a good place to camp, a small place that has some protection from the winds.
Yeah.
We're doing this as we're moving, or we're stopping to.
I mean, as we're moving, I guess. Too.
Yep.
Yeah. Do I
Roll for perception.
or survival or some?
Perception at the moment.
18.
You get the feeling that, like, I try and just show. Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys the map.
The map.
But I'll make.
Yeah,
the-
it doesn't show.
It doesn't
It doesn't
show.
show.
But basically, you're in the pass. You got mountains on both sides, and the northern mountains are just looking a little bit more welcoming, because the southern mountains belong to the range which belongs to the side of the crater, and the farther you are from the crater, the better.
Quick side advert. For those of you who have not seen the episode we did 4 weeks ago, the episode from 4 weeks ago actually has the map as part of the stream.
Yes.
So, you can always refer back to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright.
And the map is also visible on our Facebook and our YouTube page, and so
Yeah, and we're at the moment we're northwest of the crater.
yeah.
Yes.
I can. Where is? Okay.
But yeah, you leave the main road to go to the northern. It's a very small range of mountains, just like maybe 20-30 kilometers across, and most of the mountains are very because the mountains on the edge of the crater are very, very sharp and very pointy, like cracked glass. These mountains are much more rounded on top, like the winds of winter and the winds of the north have during countless aeons. Yeah, countless aeons. They've just like withered away till the mountains are little more than very, very big stone hills.
I assume we're
And
stopping for tonight.
yeah, it seems so. So Rhaega went to the closest mountain and found themselves sort of not a hole per se, but there was a very old avalanche where the stones have sort of settled on both sides of a small cropping on the root of the mountain, and you can get a little bit of cover from the winds.
That is good. I will start to set up the camp. Just put up my tent and.
You will see, Jay. You know the feeling when you know, even if you tried to help, you wouldn't be of any help. So you just try to be okay. I'll stand here, so I don't bother anyone. And as soon as I see just a small spot to sit down, lay down, I'll just go to the side.
Actually, Rhaega would probably. What's the word? Ohjeista? Give
directions.
Direct the others to make it so that we put our it's like it gives us the cropping and then the animals on the outside of it, and probably the pictures inside, so it like gives up a little bit of the heat, you know.
And you can put like a fire.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
But like.
Yeah, so if you guys are doing the heavy lifting, because I'm assuming the giants are doing the heavy lifting, I'm gonna go collect some firewood. Because, firewood and twigs and things are a lot lighter, so
Yeah.
I suit my tiny little frame a lot better.
Yeah. Roll for survival or perception.
I can. You want me to roll perception, you say? Well, that's an excellent idea. 18.
Yeah. So.
You have a higher modifier for perception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you walk around and you find a lot of like. Some trees are just fallen down because of the winds. Some trees are just like have been grazed on from like from bigger animals, and you find like enough firewood for you all for the night, way more than you can carry, but you'll get a couple of trips and that's fine.
Right. I want to do this quietly because I'm not sure what kind of wildlife we have here, so I'm just gonna roll stealth as well, just to play that safe.
Yeah.
22.
Nice.
That's more than enough. I mean, you do hear the calling shouts of bigger, like you get the idea that there are some like goat or elk type creatures on the higher hills in the mountains, and they're like calling on each other for whatever reasons. You hear the calls of birds and the chittering of small rodent animals, and yeah, but pretty much you just like dodge all wildlife. And when the big folk have set up the camp, like as was instructed, because the blitzer has been fed. It was fed before you guys took it Witcher, and I'm assuming you've given it some food during the day. And
We had the animal rations.
yeah, you had the animal rations which you bought from the Beastmaster, and when you stop, you get the feeling that the Blitzera is a bit restless for some reason.
Just to clear that, Raja is riding the Blitzeros.
Yes.
Yes, and Rhaega is riding the
Goat.
old goat Oxram bull.
Yep.
Hybrid. Yes.
Because yeah.
I would like to investigate why Ashoka is restless.
Animal handling or actually animal handling or insight.
Animal handling or insight. Give me a second, I shall check my... definitely animal handling. For a total of 19.
Yeah. You get the feeling that they kind of want to hunt or just like move around for a little bit, because they still have energy to move, but they don't want to leave you.
Okay. In that case, I will look at my companions and go, I'll be back. And I jump on the creature and I just bring it for a ride.
Yeah. Because the Blitzer, until so far, you've just been riding on the main road, and it's very, very smooth. There's a little bit of snow here and there, but it's a very smooth ride. And now you're up north, and snow has been falling the entire day, and there are a lot bigger, like a bigger layer of snow, and you just like the Blitzer starts first walking, then like taking a little bit on speed, and just running, and you can just like you feel yourself almost burying through the snow because the animal just like the snow is just like freaking everywhere.
Alright.
So I take it we can all hear this.
Yeah, you can hear it and you can see it like thum thum thum.
I'm just gonna look over at them and have a quick laugh and go, oh, they're having fun. Oh, nice.
if it needs to hunt, I would like also to allow it to hunt and satisfy the primal need of a hunter.
Yeah. So you're riding it for like 10-20 minutes ish, and then the creature, it's been riding pretty much like toward up and north, like in a straight line, but then it almost does this sort of sudden 90 degrees movement and starts running towards a bigger pile, like a bigger pile of snow. And then it hits the pile of snow, like everything smashes apart, and it was there's underneath the snow pile you can see this sort of very big terracotta, like terracotta colored termite nest, and the creature starts like eating the entire nest with like building materials and like termites and everything, and it was very well camouflaged, but now it's pretty much ruined, and like it gets some minutes of gorging, and there's a hole in the ground and not much more. And like you saw like flashes of red coloring, and you get the like you saw the bugs were red colored, so and yeah. Well, bugs are your specialty, especially here, but you can just like
Did he?
It ate the entire pile.
Yeah. Did he basically eat like the fire ant version of termites?
Maybe.
Ow.
I just look at the Ashoka and I just, without beating an eye, are you happy now?
She lets out this sort of satisfied but still stubborn grunt, like a sort of person who never says anything positive, like doable. But you get the feeling that she has an appetite for destruction and an appetite to eat stuff, and both are satisfied. Not with the best prey in the world, but it's something.
And I pat her head and I just ride her back to the camp so that we can finally rest.
Yeah.
Before you get to the resting, Jay has come up with this brilliant idea because he wants to test it out. He takes his gun, tucks it inside his sleeve, lights it up, and gives it just a small, tiny
Flashlight.
And as soon as Rhaega gets back, Jay is
Oh no!
having this hand light thing going around with it, just to see if Rhaega reacts in any way. Basically, it's when I line my gun, it emits a 30-meter radius of bright light, and I tuck my gun inside my sleeve and make the sleeve hole a lot smaller. So basically, it's a really small beam of light.
Just on the floor.
And
I simply drop from Ashoka. I walk to you, and remaining very, very distant, I ready myself to pounce while I take the maul.
does it seem like you're pouncing on the light?
Or on you.
Or me?
Yes.
Then I just keep moving the light a bit.
Okay, give me a second. I have to roll a personal dice. Natural one. So,
And
I jump, and roaring and angrily, I try to smash the light on the ground with my maul.
yeah, and at that point I drop the light. Jay's really satisfied.
After completing the shot, I raise my maul, I look around, I don't see the light, and I go, another prey.
I'm gonna walk up to you and I'm gonna pat you on the shoulder and go, yeah, that's my boy. You're a good hunter. Sorry, like this, barely reaching the shoulder. And but I'm gonna go. But you know what? Every good hunt means you need to rest afterwards. So I think it's about time we had some shut eye.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it was a very cat reaction from a cat who weighs like, I don't know, 250 kilos or something thereabouts. Like, a lot.
I can
We
take
just need the light to turn red next time. So.
I can take the deep night watch when it is the coldest outside.
Haskura can also take a watch because she...
Oh, actually, a question. Okay, so I have a tent that can house 2 people. It's probably me and Haskura because we have been, sleeping together already. Do you guys have tents? Because otherwise you're gonna be out in the cold.
Yes, I think we were.
Yeah, you bought.
Yes, we were.
Tents are by definition for 2 people. So I thought you... I remember, seem to recall you bought 3 tents.
3.
No, actually, because
One
Rhaega
for-
already had one.
Yeah, I have one.
And when we went to get our winter clothes and jackets and all that stuff, I got us one more for me and Almond. But
So Raja is currently without a tent.
Well...
Raja has the Blitzeros.
Yeah. And like you can make a pile of coats and the blitzeros, so he'll be fine.
We assume you're gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, the thing is that if when we start to rest, you can definitely see Raja not going to a bed or to any sort of place to rest. He just mounts on the Blixera and rests on the creature.
Yeah, the creature itself just like looks around, looking like the elves are like making themselves into a small pile on the edge of the fireplace, and the blitzer is like rest, dum dum dum, just like not just like legs down and just like holding itself up as a like in a very ready position to just like break stuff. Yep. So
Good time for a break, maybe?
yeah, I was just about to say the same, but you beat me to it. So now's the time for a 15-minute break. Yeah, see you all then. Bye.
See you later.
See ya.
It's just the small things.
Yeah. So you get breakfast for yourself and your animals, and then you get going. And Hasgruda has like, she's well after like from the time you met her brother, she's been not as festive or vocal about things as she was, but now she's feeling like she got like very thick, very like dwarven style food. And you can see her drinking from her, well, you see her emptying her hip flask and then taking a very thick wooden bottle from her bag and continuing the drinking. And when she gets like food and drinks, and she's like, well, it could be a lot worse. I mean, the like armpits of like wherever we are, but at least I'm in good company and the food is better. So, whatever.
There she is, the woman I started this journey with. Good to see you again.
Yeah, well, you, it's the feeling when the past stabs you in the face isn't the most pleasant one, but I really think my brother can manage. I don't.
And of course, we need to remember that the woman you started this journey with, I believe, managed to get some money off all of us. So you know, are you inviting? Are you inviting another card game, or what's that?
If we had the courage, then we could pass some time with card games. But when we get to the city, we can just like take a table at an inn and then just play. If we have the time.
As it happens, I'm gonna pull out like a little pouch, and I have like a load of different kinds of little dice in it. I don't have any cards, but I do have these. So you know, if anyone gets bored, and I just start kind of like bouncing the little bag of dice in my hand.
We played D&D inside of D&D.
Yo, dog! I heard you like RPGs.
So we're gonna need to get some paper and pens, and then we're gonna create characters.
I heard about this game in this inn that I was one time.
The game becomes the game.
Yes. Yeah. That would be like mind blowing. And like, so I have an RPG in which one of my players is the GM. We maybe like a spin-off episode at one point.
I mean, it's not unheard of, but yeah.
Maybe, but yeah.
You like my mouth?
Hasgruda takes a like a drink of encouragement. It's like, well, you can set up the animals. Might take a couple of rounds of dice. Oh, you do know you do know how to play liar's dice, I believe.
Yeah, maybe.
With that, Rhaega just starts to make up the gun.
Raja scratches his head, confused.
Aren't those candy?
Looking at them, yes.
Probably that's what he's wondering.
Yeah. Hasgruda looks at the dice and looks at the leonin and looks at Almond. Is like, you really need to keep an eye out on your brother that he doesn't eat him, because that's not food.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would. Like these are clean. Like these are all cleaned out. I mean, they're basically made out of bone. You know, like in the olden days, that's what dice were made out of. Was basically bone. So, no, there's no meat left on this stuff. So.
Ooh, imagine.
If at that point, if Almond is playing with the dices and Raja is confused for 15 minutes, Rhaega is taking down the camp. Jay would. I'd like to go around the camp, just to scout out the area. Is someone following us? Has something happened during the night? This is not the first trip for Jay. We've been very close to the crater. Weird stuff happened.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we didn't technically roll perception for the night.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
We really didn't need to because literally nothing is around, and
Okay.
like you might have heard some animals coming around, and then the Blitzera wakes up, grunts a couple of times, and the animals are like, nope. Just nope.
Fuck that place.
in a more of a supernatural sense,
Yeah.
as someone looming around, someone trying to keep an eye on us, because you would see footprints in the snow.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't see what Jay would see, in a sense.
Speaking of supernatural senses, roll for wisdom. Roll wisdom save.
Oh no!
I rolled twice, and it was Faye. I can't remember. What do I get the advantage on?
Are you saying you need all of us to roll a wisdom save?
No, just him.
Wisdom.
Okay.
Oh yeah, true. Tap thing.
Oh yeah, you just wisdom save.
Yep.
13.
13. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
No immediate effect.
Yep. And you want me to roll something for? Yeah, I want to check out the area.
Yeah.
Something's
Roll
amiss.
for perception or arcana.
I'll go with Arcana. And I roll twice, and because I don't want you to tell me, but if it's Fey, Fiend, or Undead, I'll get the advantage. First is 19, 11, so... Well, basically the first one was 19, so it doesn't matter because, yeah, it's 23.
Yeah. So you walk around and you get the sense, like you smell the air and you get the feeling of the natural in a both physical and metaphysical sense. And you get the, you go a little bit from on the side of the mountain and a little bit up it, and you can see on the, like beyond the mountains, like tens of kilometers away, you can see the eternal ice fields. Like most of the northern province is covered in a never melting layer of ice, so it's very, very smooth and very like a basically a desert of ice, but with like some pits for like dugouts and towers and things, and you can see the ice fields with some like very distant watchtowers and other signs of the ever war with the between the northern province and Nix Aether. And you get the feeling that in times past, like many demons and undead creatures have died in this place, so it's a very faint aura of not yet desecration, but like nature has recycled demons in these parts. Yeah. So you might need to keep an eye out on, like, normally when you hunt creatures you can just like eat any old bird or mammal or whatever, but if you hunt a mammal, you just might want to keep an eye out of it doesn't have like weird eyes or horns or whatever.
That's specifically what I was worried about, and something strange. Just an extra flavor when Jay walks out, you can hear him humming to himself. There's something strange. The neighborhood.
We wanna go ghost hunters. That's the order name, Ghost Hunter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, I need to start doing what you're doing and just draw like little scribbles too, because it helps with remembering things.
Yeah.
Really important information slipped in a...
Yeah. So, but that's pretty much like, and well, you're too far to see the long, big walls of the Sarngard. So never mind that, not yet, because the world is a round place. The horizons do curve, so you don't see it yet. So,
Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
You get moving. You get your tents and animals moving, and when you mount up on the creatures, by the way, you need to help Haskruda up.
Oh yeah.
Because she's like 70 centimeters, and the elk is almost twice as tall from like legs to back. The head is even taller, but the
Haskruda, do this, and I do I roll animal handling to see if I can make the elk like go like head down?
Yes, if roll for animal handling.
15.
Yeah, so you get the animal to basically bow.
Yeah.
And then she can just like scuttle up.
And that's how you use the elk elevator.
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 Seeing
Elevator.
Haskruda struggle.
So you have come.
Yeah.
By seeing Haskruda's struggle,
Not anymore.
Raja would simply ask, I can carry you on my back if you want.
I'm actually going to look at him and go, yeah, he's not kidding. He'll actually do that, you know.
Yeah, I can see that he's not kidding, but...
Yeah, he's asking you on a date.
Yes, sorry buddy, I'm not gonna ride on someone I just met.
Okay. About my business.
Yeah, like half the party just...
Or like only Raja, I think, because everyone else is like, haha.
Oh no, Raja did not got any of that.
We assume that, yeah.
Oh, Raja, I love you.
Raja is freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
Yep.
Northwards.
Yeah. So you ride
Right.
northwards. Basically, the road goes like east to west, because like you got from Sanctuary north enough that the road just curved to the pass, and from the pass it's basically more to the west until almost to Sarngard when you go up north.
Yep.
But yeah, you ride for a couple of hours, you get out of the pass, and then when the road goes up to a smaller hill, you can see like some hours walk past through the snow. To the north, you can see the ice which covers most of the north. Most of the North Province, which leads to the eternal ice bridge between the Lumainvoir Island and Nix Aether, the northern island, from where all the weird and evil creatures come and try and attack the island from time to time. And you can also see, like, because it's a clear day and the ice desert is very flat and very white, you can see like small dots in there being like watchtowers and dugouts and bunkers and all that jazz. So it's very defended and very fortified.
You can't see Calderaya from here because it's like way up north and also in a valley.
Yeah, basically.
But like I kind of know now, know like where it is.
Yeah, and if when you stopped in the pass, if you would have climbed the mountains, then you would have seen like northwest to Arkenhold.
Yeah.
Over the frozen lakes and things.
Yeah, Rhaega just kind of looks at the ice bridge with melancholy in her eyes.
Yeah. And yeah, then you ride for some more hours. Now that you've passed to the, like, closer to the ever ice, like, the ice bridge comes from the fact that from Nix Aether, in the island of Nix Aether, there's an eternal winter. It is said that the god of winter or some other similar phenomenon lives there, so there's just like winter and snow and ice just like rumbles down from there, and that's the reason why most of the northern province is covered in snow and ice. And now that you've come out from the past, the winter winds just like slap you in the face.
Or caress some.
Or caress. Almost like lovingly welcoming their child.
And for us from the south, they violently caress us so hard we don't want to go forward.
Yeah, so
Slap across the face.
because I mean I don't know if Almond. I mean, it was implied that they are from Reedhold, and you do know that Reedhold is the southwestern small province, so it's very like very warm and kind of tropical. So these two are very, very out of their element. And even like Jay technically is from the eastern province, and it's like almost a desert like environment. So
Jay is just used to shit conditions.
you can see like it comes a time where Haskuru has a little bit problems containing the elk because she has produce flame in her hand all the time because warmth.
Is she like looking actively cold? Because like she's kind of small, so she doesn't retain body heat in the same way.
Yeah, but she's also dwarf and their skin is very thick, and she doesn't register the cold because she has the bottle. Like spirits in the other hand, produce flame in the other. She's fine. She's surprisingly good at steering the elk with just her legs. And because it's a cantrip, she can just like fire out, like. And this goes on for a while, almost half a day, with like, you see like some random people just like joining the way, basically from the south, because there are some farmlands between the main road and the Craterous Mountains. That's actually a decent name, come to think of it. Craterous Mountains. I'm just gonna write it down.
This well-formed universe that has been built up through years of planning, obviously. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
this isn't thinking in the moment. This is him trying to fool us into thinking that he's coming up with this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the setting has been. I've been planning this setting for like 12 years, but the island of Lumainvoir isn't that old.
Are you trying to tell me he's coming up with this stuff?
It's like I'm improvising most of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's almost like where's the fucking the improve game? Where does it read?
So you're telling me this whole island is from your mind? It's not real? Oh man!
Sorry, bro, you're not a real gunslinger.
God damn it!
I'm not.
Are we using our imagination?
Are you guys using your imagination? I'm not. We're not. What?
I think, therefore I am.
Yep.
Yeah, anyway.
But yeah.
So other people are kind of like joining the way forward. Yeah. Like
some like not many, but there are a couple of carts full of like the last remnants of the farmland people just taking their carts and belongings and just going to Sarngard because it is not an ideal place to be over the winter because the war. But
Rhaega will reposition with Oxram in a way that allows for them for the carts to join our group basically for more protection, you know. And like I will also, if I see the drivers, Rhaega will also like. Good evening.
The people of like just most of the people you see around here are either human or orcs or something in between human and or orc and or something else. Because like
I feel like home.
like breeding between different people is just like whatever. I mean, like I will tell you on YouTube better, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from or what your race is, as long as you do the work. That's basically the creed of Sarngard.
Yeah.
do the work and defend land and all that jazz.
Live and let live.
And people do look at, especially because literally no one, I mean, maybe 1 in 100 or have seen a leonin, and even fewer have seen tieflings are more common than leonin.
And technically, Rhaega has a very orcish face, and like the stature and colorization is Goliath, so.
But you have horns.
Okay, well.
Just like tiefling.
But I also have orc tusks, so yeah.
And yeah, like I said, like weird species is common, and they look at you too. Like they do recognize that there are 3 other people, but you like Rhaega and Rhaega get a lot of attention, like weird glances and like weird whispers and like kids who are like, oh, there's a family of basically half orcs, like 3 parents and like who are just like pulling a cart full of like stuff, and some kids just roaming around with like this sort of energy of 6-year-old just like playing in the snow and just like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Where's the city? And one of the kids are like, oh, what's that? And the parents are almost like, no, don't go there. But what the kid runs to your group and is like,
how like I'm pretty high up because the orc tribe is really big.
yeah.
Can I like? Is there any way that I can like take hold of the horn and just like go down and like basically like pick up the kid with my arm like this?
Roll for animal handling.
Okay. Oh, thank God! 19 plus 3.
You almost the goat almost. You hear a very high, like screech of protest.
and Rhaega just goes like back.
Yeah.
Like shut the fuck up.
And then the goat is like,
It's like your thick neck can take this basically, and like just goes down and picks up
you might hear this like neck crack.
But yeah, like if the kid like takes my arm, wee, just like and, like up, so they're like really high up right now.
Swole.
Yeah, just like. Is the cart nearby where they came from?
They're like some tens of meters away.
Yeah, okay. I will just like go up there with the kid in my hand and be like, "This yours?"
The one of the parents, more feminine than the others, looks at you kind of suspiciously, and looks at the kids very very venomously. And says, yeah, and then starts like, thanks, stranger, and just takes the kid and starts like mumbling to the kid in Orcish, and you don't understand it, but
I do.
Oh, you do.
I have language Orcish.
It's
God damn it! I have to come up with this now.
Basically, I do know what they said. Basically, this sort of, if you run off again, like you have run off again and again, and if you do it couple more times, I will chain you to the freaking cart. Insert in basically longer word.
While observing all of this, I will go near my brother and whisper in his ear, "Brother, society is still strange as I remember."
Yeah, I think, you'll find most parents tend to get nervous when big hulking giants pick up their kids off the street at random. So
Rhaega is really...
maybe don't do that.
Rhaega is really good with kids though. Like
But I'm whispering, so
yeah. They're just
She
like
was worried for nothing. Our friend had no ill intentions.
I know, but I mean, some big people might have ill intentions, so and she doesn't know our friend, so.
The world is a complicated place. And I just go back to my station.
I love Rhaega so much. I'm sorry.
You're gonna. Jay is riding by the brothers and just looks at Raja. It's the smile. Don't smile at them. And just keeps moving forward.
Yeah. So
That depends. Sometimes you might want to smile at people. It can be good for you. Or them.
And you can see Jay smiling and just going forward.
And especially because, like, just like Raja, because a cat face, their smile is this Yubu smile.
It's really sharp teeth, like, I can eat you.
Yes.
Fun fact, I could do the Ubu smile at one point. Not anymore.
Yeah. So you return the Orcchild or half Orcchild rather, and they thanked you and kind of smiled, and they picked up the pace after that, and the kids, you can hear some like almost gunshot commanding shouts in Orcish, even if they're left like they're very far away. You can sit down. Sort of shouts in Orcish. Then you travel for a little while, and the road starts turning, like shifting a little bit north. And on your right side, you see a small patch of forest, and it's a very snow-covered piney forest, and the snow is the biggest reason why you see a very weird light brown humanoid shape hanging from one of the trees. Some others might have passed it, but you can see like hanging from one of the bigger pines, covered in the figure itself is a little bit covered in snow, but because it's moving and just struggling, like it's a gnome-sized.
Can I
light brown because that's the color of its winter robes, and like a
It's basically hanged?
hanging from one leg, so it's upside down.
Oh, okay.
And you can see it's holding its winter cap in the other hand because it was almost falling, and a very long, very thick looking wool and leather, tan colored winter jacket.
How far was this?
It's some hundreds of meters from the road. But it's tan on white. It's very visible.
Yeah. Rhaega just goes halt. Somebody seems to be in trouble. And Rhaega will just start to steer towards the...
Yeah, but couldn't Rhaega just right next to him whoop?
Just a little bit too high.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
If I stood up on the ox ram...
You would break its back, but yeah, you could...
Is it what?
No, wait.
No.
Did Rhaega have hooves?
No.
Never mind that.
No, they have humanoid feet, but they're a bit longer on the back, so it's weird. Anyways, but yeah, Rhaega will carefully stand up, probably using the tree as to keep himself straight. And
so you start riding towards the figure in the trees.
Yes.
Jay would follow. I'd assume the rest of the group is going on at a certain pace that we can just steer off for a bit and then catch up later if need be.
So basically,
Rhaega does say
you guys are. So Rhaega's climbing a tree, is what you're saying.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But they need to when they get to the tree.
We're riding towards the tree that someone's hanging from upside down, tangled from their foot.
Well, in that case, what I would like to do is, before we get within reach, I want to try to kind of hide close by and aim my bow at them, just in case.
Yeah, so you can just go behind just roll for stealth, but you can hide behind the Blitzer.
16.
16, yeah. That's decent because there's a huge ass leonin with a huge ass Blitzer between you and the target, so it's fine. I mean, because you're on the main road, it's very flat, and the surrounding areas at the moment are basically have been a field. Would be a field in the summer, so there's nothing else to hide except behind Raja. But yeah,
I'm just following
It's
Rhaega.
a good big hide spot, though.
yeah, that's
because if this is snow all around, I'm completely white with blue eyes, so basically I'm a white spot.
Just the eyes are visible.
These random like little lumps of ice are floating in the air.
As we get closer, Rhaega will call out, "Hello. It seems that you are in a bit of a pickle."
Yes. It would appear so. Yes.
Was it a hunting trap that you?
Not. I mean, I was kind of. If you would think that I was the one being hunted, then yeah, it was a kind of more of a shenanigan.
Are you a hunter then?
Of stories and of great deeds.
I think he was the hunted.
Yes. When I get down, I need to really make myself a note. Do not trust the Fae.
Oh. Rhaega says, "Oh."
And then he hangs there and he's like,
Well, hold on tight. So do I have to climb the tree, or can I just stand on the ox ram or do I have to climb the tree?
roll acrobatics.
Okay.
I would like to check the surroundings of the tree for any signs of the Fae.
The one time this evening I rolled a 4.
1.
Oh!
Is it a 7? No, it's a 7.
Okay.
Oh.
So you do.
No, but like before I even like stand on the ox ram, I'm just like thinking like, do I have to? Just, like,
you get the feeling that Oxrum wouldn't like it, and like.
Actually, so he's hanging from his foot. Is there like a rope?
Probably, but the foot is under the leaves, the branches, so you can really see where it's stuck from.
Okay. Yeah.
So you do.
While all of this is happening, I'll turn to my brother and I go, "Shall I help the little one?"
I'm hiding somewhere.
Behind him.
Oh. So I turn around and my brother is not there.
Can't see.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, like you're on the road. Like, yay, and the trees are here, and the reason why they can't see is because like Raja is on the side of the trees, but you're just riding side by side.
Okay.
Yes. So no, you can't just hide an elk and yourself in plain snow.
No, but I thought like if there were any bushes or anything, I could have kind of.
Not at the moment, no. I mean, by yourself, you could just like get down into the snow and just like hide. But there's an elk shape. Get down again. Get down. There's an elk-sized problem with your plan.
Yeah.
True.
So do I?
Okay, so I'm basically just next to him.
Yep.
Do I use 2 hours for the trying to get up, or?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
No one's going on.
Oh.
I mean, I thought.
Carry on. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was just like asking, like, do I use the 2 I rolled for the trying to get this guy out of the tree, or?
Pretty much,
Okay,
yeah.
So
I mean, you rise up on the. You climb up to stand up on the goat, and it immediately starts like nope. You just starts immediately like shuffling about them because you haven't. You pretty much never has standed on a creature. You fall down towards the tree and like get stuck in the branches. I mean, there's just 3 branches. You can just like rip yourself apart, but you're basically hanging from the tree.
Well, in that case, I will just push myself up into the tree.
Yep.
So you said I'm talking to the, I assume, gnomish guy?
Pretty much. Like, I mean, the height and features would suggest a male gnome.
Yeah. Joe, I'll be right next to him and I go asking, so Faye, you say?
Yeah. So I had rented a great horse, and I came here to search for like weird stories because I am a.
So you're a storyteller.
I am a writer and a recorder of the stories. Maybe you've heard of my
No.
writings.
Well,
I'm just gonna
Rhaega-
go out and
Rhaega
go,
is-
so who
Rhaega's
are you?
listening as
What's
well.
your name?
Oh, so there are a few. I am the Doctor Clumsidis of Sarngard.
And have we ever heard of him?
Roll for history.
Okay.
8.
4.
14.
So he's you might have heard of him like or might have just walked past a bookstore with his name on a book there, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
Is it pretty much the guy who has like 50 different kinds of books on how to?
It's the Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
No, nobody else. Nobody else. What is the name?
Kloom, Kloom big.
So these Fae,
That's a name and a half.
you came here after the Fae, or did the Fae come to you?
I
Or
heard there were fake creatures around, and I wanted to research them for my next upcoming book, The Nature Powers of the North.
would
I'm naturally suspicious. I'd like to roll insight on that.
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to I assume that Jay is pretty knowledgeable about the Fae stuff around the world, around Lumainvoir and the whole island. What should I roll something at? Would I know if this is an active area for Fae?
Well, it's a very big forest. Like,
So yes.
yeah, so most probably because it's a big forest on the side of the crater. So most likely there's a fake crossing or 10.
Magic,
Yeah.
meet magic.
18 insight.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna send you a PM real fast.
He's the faking Oberon. But yeah, Rhaega is I'll climb the tree and get them out of there if possible.
This is me asking, not Jay. Jay would know. Would there be some kind of a magical residue or something that's left behind if there's
Yeah, it
been
was-
Fey action? Or...
You just rolled high enough to see this sort of, for a better word, lack of a better word, glitter on some of the like ferns there, or
so there definitely were Fey there.
branches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky bastards.
Huh. Well.
In the meanwhile, the big white lion would like to approach the new figure and curiously look and sniff and try to understand who he is.
Yeah.
I'm sly.
Jay's interest is pretty much dropping at this point, and the only comment he has left is, well, messing with the Fae, that sounds like a you problem. Yeah.
But I do have money. You seem like the person who would be interested in money.
Don't think you have enough of it.
Rhaega just goes, don't listen to him. I'll let you down.
Let me down and escort me to Sarngard. 25 gold.
So tell me about your discoveries, Dr. Gloomsy Big.
I'm currently helping.
And then he just like, yeah, so as you probably know, as a man of culture, I'm assuming, I have written many books about weird creatures in different parts of our great nation, and I gathered a little bit of a reputation as a scholar, storyteller, and then he's upside down and gets a little bit distracted by the 250 kilo lion person just like sniffing at him and like so
He's a friend.
hopefully he's like home tamed and things.
Yeah, you can write a book about him.
Oh well, I mean, he likes friends. You are our friend, aren't you?
Yes,
Doctor?
yes, of course. I am friend to anyone, especially someone who helped me down from here.
I'm very okay.
Yeah. You climb the tree and just like he's tangled. Like you get the feeling. I mean, you look at the branches and they've been like tied around his ankle.
Druidcraft, alright.
Or druidcraft, or tied, or both.
Raja, do you want to help our new friend? Stand right below him and catch him as he falls, because I am going to release him from his bindings.
Careful now!
And I just like go up, wait for Raja to be ready, and just open up the.
Welcome. A very small clang of his feet hitting Raja's boulder, but he lands very. I mean, roll for.
Just if it's a gnome, you can just like.
Yeah, but
you're keeping your hands too wide, so it's just go. God damn it!
Raja, roll for athletics, just to measure how good you.
Okay. 24.
Yeah, you just like catch him and take just because there's a lot of momentum. You swing him a little bit to just like not break anything.
Rhaega will just like, because I'm on the thicker part of the.
Hello.
I'm on the thicker part of the branch, so if the next branch is like thinner,
Yeah.
I'm gonna like take it and let my weight
Yep.
like make it go down and just.
You can see like a wake of Rhaega just like breaking branches and taking off the snow from the side of the tree. There will be a green wake,
I just like.
like a foss. And then you have this small.
I keep the gnome in front of me, and I go and I ask him, "How long have you been on the tree?"
He gets a little paler because he realizes that his head would fit very snugly into Raja's mouth, and it's like, so not for long. It was this morning when I rode out here and my horse seemed to be bolted, but maybe a couple of hours.
After all that pain, you need some affection. And I just lick his face.
I'm drowning. There's like actually.
That means he likes you.
Damn, you're good. Because you lick his face and you can see like he had this sort of tan-colored long winter jacket and a scarf on his neck and a suitcase-style back, like over-the-shoulder pack on his back. And when you lick him, because cats' tongues are naturally rough, you can see your tongue gets a hold of the scarf and just like almost rips it out, and you can see a very thick color of metal and of dark metal and very thick leather below the scarf. And he's like he's immediately drenched, and his hair, which was already kind of messed up, goes like he's almost been swimming, and the scarf hangs a little bit like down his side because it also gets drenched. And then he's like, hold it, and starts almost swearing gnomish and just like wraps the scarf in a super panic around his neck, and it's like, thank you, kind sir. That was refreshing, to say the least.
Do I see this?
Yeah, you're close enough. Yeah.
Is this the kind of dramatic discovery that we would, in professional terms, refer to as a cliffhanger?
Probably, yeah.
Sudden revelation, dun dun dun.
Yeah. I'm looking at the clock, and I think this is a very good cliffhanger.
Actually, before I forget, because I might forget this on the next thing, can I roll like something to see like have I seen that kind of color before anywhere or?
We'll get back on that. But yeah, you have the gnome man in your hands, and that's where we're gonna leave it at the moment. And we'll continue this in 2 weeks.
I wanna play more.
Maybe we just need to get enough followers, and then I just like can justify myself to have a game like twice a week or something. But that's
way longer.
That's very dependent on you all.
But we can't have a longer game.
Maybe later.
Okay.
I need to like pack and move and things.
Yeah. True.
And people need to sleep.
No, they don't.
Oh, so thanks for joining us. Hopefully you had fun. But I've been keeping an eye on chat, and it seems like people have been enjoying themselves. So once again, all feedback is appreciated. All comments, every email, every subscription, every follow, I just appreciate it like way much. I love this campaign. This has been going very well, and this group is awesome. Just like
we love you too.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you very much, DM, and thank you for everybody who's watching us.
Thank you for joining us.
We will have a game next week with the other group. This group will be back in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, you can see our older games on the YouTube channel. And yeah, thanks all. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and may the dice ever roll in your favor.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Bye.
See ya.
Have fun.
Bye, guys.